Welcome to Tale Virtue, where every story touches the heart and inspires the soul. Join us on a journey of wisdom, kindness, and timeless life lessons, because one story can change everything.
The clock ticked loudly in the silent room. It was 11:59 p.m. David sat on the edge of his small bed, his eyes staring blankly at the cracked wall. The street outside was silent, except for the sound of rain hitting the window. He had just lost his job, again. For months, David had been trying to get his life together, working double shifts, saving money, and dreaming of starting his own small bakery. But once again, life had knocked him down hard. His landlord had given him a notice to vacate the house within a week. His savings were almost gone. His friends had stopped answering his calls. And for the first time in his life, David whispered to himself, Maybe patience isn't worth it anymore. He picked up his worn-out wallet, opened it slowly. Only $17 left. He sighed. Why does life test me so much? But that night, David had no idea that his story was about to change forever. Because sometimes, when life pushes you to your breaking point, it's only preparing you for a breakthrough. David wasn't always like this. He was once full of dreams, the kind of person who smiled through everything. He grew up in a small town with his mother, Grace. His father had left when he was just 8, but his mother taught him one thing that stayed with him forever. Patience, my son, is not waiting. It's trusting that what you hope for will come true, even when you don't see it yet. Those words became his life's foundation. After finishing high school, David worked at a local bakery called Sweet Haven. He loved baking, the smell of fresh bread, the joy on people's faces when they took their first bite. He dreamed of one day having his own bakery, David's Delight. But fate had other plans. When his mother fell sick, David spent all his savings on her treatment. He worked day and night, sometimes skipping meals to pay hospital bills. Despite all efforts, his mother passed away on a rainy night, leaving him alone in the world. That night, David broke down, but her last words echoed in his mind. Hold your patience, David. God's timing is never wrong. So he held on. He worked harder, but patience, as he was about to learn, isn't easy when life keeps throwing storms your way. Months passed. David moved to the city to find better opportunities. He joined a big bakery as a junior worker. But city life wasn't kind. Rent was high. Bills never stopped coming. His manager often scolded him for small mistakes. One day, when he accidentally burned a batch of bread, the manager yelled in front of everyone, "You're useless, David. Maybe baking isn't for you." The words cut deep. That night, David sat alone in the corner of his tiny room, staring at his calloused hands. He thought of quitting, but then he remembered his mother's voice again. Patience, David. Patience. He took a deep breath and said to himself, I'll try one more time. But just when things started to improve, the bakery shut down due to financial losses. David was jobless again. No salary, no savings. And once again, patience felt meaningless. He He started questioning everything. Why me? Why is life so unfair to those who try hardest? But deep inside, a small voice whispered, "Keep going. Don't lose hope." One morning, after spending a sleepless night thinking of what to do next, David decided to take a walk in the park. He sat on a bench, watching kids play and old men feed pigeons. An old man sitting next to him suddenly spoke. "Looks like someone fighting a silent battle." David looked at him surprised. He smiled weakly. "You could say that." The old man chuckled. "Do you know what bamboo teaches us?" David frowned. "Bamboo?" The old man nodded. "When you plant bamboo, for the first 5 years, you see nothing, no growth, no sign of progress. You water it, you take care of it, and people around you laugh because they see nothing happening. But in the 6th year, it grows, 90 feet tall, in just 6 weeks." David's eyes widened. "So remember," the old man said softly, "it wasn't growing in those 5 years. It was underground, building roots strong enough to hold its height. That's what patience is, son. You're just building your roots." Before David could ask more, the old man stood up and slowly walked away. He didn't even know the man's name, but those words hit him deep. Maybe, David thought, my time to rise hasn't come yet. Inspired, David decided not to give up. He started baking again, this time in his small rented kitchen. Every day he woke up early, made muffins, cookies, and small loaves of bread, then went door to door selling them. At first, people ignored him, some even laughed. But David smiled through it all. He remembered the bamboo. Slowly, one family started buying from him every morning. Then another. Then another. Word spread. People started calling him the Bread Boy. He created a small page online called David's Delight and posted pictures of his baked goods. Days turned into weeks, and little by little, his orders grew. Still, money was tight. There were nights he slept hungry, but never hopeless. Every time he wanted to quit, he whispered, "Hold your patience, win your life." One evening, as he packed his baked goods, a man in a fancy suit approached him. "Hey, you're the bread boy, right?" he asked. He smiled. "Yes, that's me." The man introduced himself as Mr. Collins, the owner of a large food company. "I've tasted your bread," Collins said. "It's amazing. I have a business offer for you." David's heart raced. Mr. Collins continued, "Join my company. Forget your small shop dreams. You'll earn a good salary and you won't have to worry about anything." For a moment, David felt tempted. Life had been hard. A secure job sounded like a dream. But then he thought, this wasn't his real dream. He wanted to create something of his own, not work under someone again. He smiled politely and said, "Thank you, sir, but I want to build my own bakery, no matter how long it takes." Mr. Collins looked disappointed. "Suit yourself. You'll regret it." David watched him leave, wondering if he had made a mistake. But deep inside, his heart whispered, "Patience, David. Your roots are still growing." A few months later, disaster struck. A short circuit in the kitchen caused a fire. Everything, his oven, ingredients, utensils, burned down. David stood outside, staring at the flames that destroyed everything he had built. Tears streamed down his face as firefighters tried to control the fire. It felt like the end. That night, he walked back to his room with nothing but ashes in his hands. He sat on the floor and cried. For the first time in years, he shouted, "Why, God, I did everything right. I worked hard. I was patient. Why me?" But there was silence. Then suddenly his phone beeped, a message from one of his loyal customers. "David, we heard about the fire. Don't worry, we'll help you rebuild. You've always brought smiles to us. Now it's our turn." Soon, more messages started pouring in. People from the neighborhood offered money, ingredients, even a space to bake temporarily. David was speechless. His patience had finally touched hearts. With the help of the community, David started again. He worked day and night, sleeping only a few hours.
This time, he poured not just flour and sugar into his work, but hope, gratitude, and faith. His passion became unstoppable. Within a year, David's delight turned from a small local kitchen into a popular bakery in the city. People lined up outside his shop every morning, waiting for his special patience bread, a recipe he created to remind everyone that good things take time. One day, a reporter asked him during an interview, "David, what's your secret ingredient?" He smiled and said, "Patience. It doesn't come in packets, but it changes everything." Years later, David's Delight became one of the most loved bakeries in the country. He opened branches in multiple cities and hired young people who were struggling just like he once was. Every week, he visited schools to share his story about how patience turned his pain into purpose. One afternoon, as he was leaving the bakery, he noticed an old man sitting on a bench nearby, feeding pigeons. David walked closer. His heart skipped a beat. It was the same old man who had once told him the story of the bamboo. David smiled and said softly, "Sir, do you remember me?" The old man looked up, smiled warmly, and said, "Ah, the young baker with tired eyes. Seems like your bamboo finally grew tall." David nodded, eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, sir. I would have given up that day if not for your words." The old man chuckled. "No, son, you didn't need my words. You just needed to believe in yours." Standing on the stage at a motivational event years later, David looked at the crowd and said, "Life isn't a race. It's a test of patience. Sometimes your success takes years to show, not because you're weak, but because your roots are still growing." He paused, smiled, and continued. "When I was poor and hungry, I thought patience was useless. But now I know patience isn't waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning to bake your bread, even in the rain." The crowd applauded. Many had tears in their eyes. David's story became a reminder that no matter how long it takes, patience never fails those who truly believe. Late one evening, after closing his bakery, David walked outside and looked at the sky. The sunset painted the clouds in golden orange. He smiled and whispered to himself, "Mom, you were right. Patience didn't just give me success. it gave me peace. And somewhere deep inside, he knew. When you hold your patience, you don't just win your life, you win yourself. Moral of the story: life will test you again and again, not to break you, but to build you. Patience isn't sitting and waiting. It's trusting and working hard even when you see no results. Every setback is preparation for a stronger comeback. Hold your patience, because great things take time, but they will come.